Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP community. Welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am your Site Director and Head Containment Specialist, Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site-42. I am here with my open door policies in my office once a day for 5 months now and counting. The streak continues strong. But I am here to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation's many mysteries. That way you can do better work while you work for us here at the Foundation. Whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the groups of interest who get a little testy about the whole containing thing, the staff that contains things so well, or of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, whether because they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level. I am here to answer your questions or research the answers from the SCPnet database to the best of my ability. But before we dive in, SCP-049, congratulations on being our first chatter of the day. As well, hello to you and Junior Researcher HLG, and Dr. Cullivan, Senior Researcher Alex, Silent Follower, The Rose Wine Sis, Billy the Go-Goat, Senior Researcher America, Pinky and Anna. Thank all of you for being here nice and punctually at the start of stream, and thank all of you for being members as well. Meanwhile, Mac and Cheese, Peter Guy, Moneybags, Maku, and Silent Honor Dark, thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you. Now today, we have a approximately 1 hour to 90-minute coffee break. I have that coffee right on hand. And I see a couple donations coming in. Let me get those before we jump to today's subject. Pinky and Anna, thank you for your 1-month member message as Mobile Task Force Captains here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the warrior work you do in the battle against the White Names. Hey Doc, Anna and Pinky here. Can't donate out on field, but hope you're having a good day. Well, I hope you're doing well as well, and thank you for at least checking in. Scarlett, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bratwurst on your way past the commissary. How have you been, Dr. Sherman? I finally decided to talk to the people I forgot the names of to get my privileges back because I got bored. Well, I have been doing okay, and if you've got everything sorted and you've got your privileges allowance returned, congratulations. Good to see you, Senior Researcher Frogman. Glad you could make it to the stream, and thank you for being a member. So, we've got everything situated here. You might be curious about the title of today's coffee break. What are your most big nope SCPs? So here's the thing. Yesterday, I brought up SCP-072, which is the... What is the exact code name of SCP-072? It's called the Foot of the Bed, right? Yes, SCP-072, codename the Foot of the Bed. And people were not familiar with 072, despite it being a very early Series 1 and pretty prominent article. And so the Foot of the Bed, in case you were not here yesterday, is an infection that affects mattresses. It is contagious between beds. Even sleeping bags can be affected. But if your bed happened to be stored in a warehouse next to an infected bed, then it would be infected by SCP-072, which is if someone falls asleep in that bed with one or both of their feet not covered by blankets, then a creepy hand comes out from the end of the bed and starts cutting the skin off of your toes and feet and peeling your skin. It is, you are sleep paralysis but awake for the whole thing, so you feel everything, which is horrible. And it doesn't stop until it has completely skinned your feet up to the ankle. So I hate that. That's a big nope for me. I don't like it. And now I'm curious as to what your big nope SCPs are. There's a lot. of fucked up fuckery in the SCP Foundation. And I want to see what you guys can bring to the table. So, first of all, Fractured Whisper, thank you for, beyond being a member, gifting 5 memberships to the Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. chat. We appreciate your generosity in the battle against the white names. And those of you who received one of those memberships that were gifted, make sure you thank Fractured Whisper for their generosity. SCP-049, thank you for your level 1 researcher 1-month member message. We appreciate your membership and your service. The research you do to help us in the battle against the white names is so important. Mobile Task Force yeeted me outside. I can't come back in. Help. Oh, you have to do the good guy knock. You have to do the... and then wait for them to do the... If you try to open the door too early, they will blast you. The good guy knock, the rule is, one side initiates, the other side calls back. That's how it works. They'll let you back in. Scarlett, thank you for your donating again. Oh yeah, sorry for missing a few streams. I actually fell asleep. Made my family's dinner today, though I only had a tuna sandwich because I wasn't hungry. Hey, nice of you to cook. And yeah, I mean, you gotta eat what your appetite allows you when you can. And no worries for missing streams. We've been streaming for 5 months straight. Everybody has missed some streams now and again. It is the way of the world. Captain Hikari, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chicken pot pie on your way past the commissary. Transmission from Origin System. Captain Hikari reporting in. I may have ended up being caught in a space battle with a faction called the Grenier, so I may lose signal at some point, sir. Oh boy, we are doing space battles out there. Well, what do the Grenier bring to the table? I see they're a warframe. Universal entity. Alright, well, it does seem that you may be needing backup. Let us know what the situation is, and we'll try to rally troops as needed. Is Desk going to be in chat today? Desk is out on a personal errand. Now, if you ask me what a personal errand for a mahogany desk is, I'm a little perplexed and curious. But I was just told a personal errand. And so I guess a desk is what a desk has got to do. Someone donate and tell him to search SCP-067. Intern Sinar, I already know what SCP-067 is. It's a fountain pen that if you hold it, it makes you automatically write your whole entire life story, even stuff you forgot. It's quite a useful entity, to be fair. Useful object, I mean. But there's not much more to it than that. I don't understand why it's so popular all of a sudden. Kylie Plays, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Epic Fire Dragon, Dr. Darkstar, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Dole Whip on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, just woke up in my rebuilt dorm. The guys did a great job. Nice, our contractors are second to none. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Yeah, your first donation of today's stream. As well as being a member, make sure to grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. I feel like some people will agree with SCP-940. Funny, off the top of my head, 940 doesn't come to mind. RNA marionettes, an SCP-940 parasite in the second stage of infection. A parasitoid organism with some superficial similarities to troglodytic members of the class Arachnida. Adult specimens are highly agile and possess leg spans of 4 to 7 meters. All right, I'm already annoyed. You got me on this one. Don't like it. I do not need 4 to 7 meter spider entities. Not a fan. Not okay. There's all sorts of wonderful biological photos in this article, just to make sure that you are well aware of the nope involved. Nope! See the nope? Do you see it crawling out of the nope? And now it's living in the nope. It is, ew, nope. Nuh-uh. No. Yeah, redact that image, 0512. I don't want to see it. What do you mean incident log? What do you mean incident log? Oh, in utero. Come on. No. Okay. 05. Hey, 05. We took the image off. You don't have to redact the stream, okay? We got rid of it. We're not going to ask any questions. Jeez. 0512 is testy this morning. Coming back to the chat. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot slice of pizza on your way past the commissary. You don't like the monster that makes your feet into flesh string cheese? No, I do not like the monster that makes your feet into flesh string cheese. I don't find the actions of SCP-072 to be very appealing. Nor would I want them to feature me. The Thomas, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, I believe. But more importantly, thank you for taking the journey to the Site42 Ko-Fi, because YouTube takes 30% of every super chat, and so donations through the Ko-Fi takes a little less in the fees. So we appreciate the effort. Make sure to grab yourself a calzone on your way past the commissary. I figured out how this new map with all the sites in Europe work. Apparently, if I actually need to be worried, there will be an actual alarm. I threw out the manual. You're supposed to read the manual. We are a scientific community, a document-bearing community. You have to read the documents. It's like our whole thing. We're a freaking writing community. How come nobody likes to read? Charlie 10 Pro is here. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Stromboli on your way past the commissary. What happens if we use that mask that if you put it on possesses you? What if you use it on 682? There is actually a tale about that. What is it called? I have to look on my audio reading archives here on the channel, because I did read this tale, but I need to find it. So playlist. Do I have a Tales playlist? I really should have a Tales playlist. I'm betting I don't have a Tales playlist. That would be too easy. Nope. Okay, so I just gotta look at my readings and search for the word tale. Show all. The pumpkin punchers, swatches, loved ones. It's Halloween. Goes to addressing the second. I think it might be called addressing the second. Let me double check. SCP addressing the second. Yes. Yes, in the tale Addressing the Second, we live in a world where SCP-682 is wearing SCP-035, and no one was happy about it. We're not doing that test. We've seen how it goes. Bad idea. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. Can I have painkillers? I don't know who to ask for that. I don't remember where medical is, if I can go to medical, because I'm technically an SCP. If you're allowed roaming privileges, you're allowed to go to medical. Ask one of the site security staff nearby, and they will guide you over there. Fractured Whisper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member and those gifted members earlier. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry pie on your way past the commissary. My big nope, or at least the one I can recall at the moment, would be SCP-5992, the Dionices Pit. That is all I will say. Well, that might be all you'll say, but we're going to find out why SCP-5992 is a big nope. That is what we're here for today. We're here for the big nopes. What could possibly go wrong? Also, Belenik and Nathan, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And while 5992 is pulling up, what is the number of Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis? Junior researcher HLG, Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis is SCP-3313. SCP-3313 is Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. Alright, so moving on to the Dionices Pit. Let's see what we get. It's a J. Dune joint, always fun. It's an extraspatial anomaly located 2 kilometers beneath a cave in Delphi, Greece. Alright. Massive octagonal area constructed of sculpted marble, encompassing the width of 150 meters and of indeterminate height. 5992 contains an innumerable amount of tiers rising toward the apparent ceiling of the structure. The walls of each tier contain apertures to 4 perpendicular tunnels, as well as being adorned with inextinguishable torches at each apex. Notably, these tunnels, with the exception of the one used to access 5992, lead to another tier of the structure. Individuals who walk through a tunnel will find themselves emerging at the tunnel position directly on the tier above them. Re-entering the tunnel reverses this, allowing for ascension and descent of each tier. At least we're not getting lost in a maze. That was about to scare me for a second. At the center of 5992 is a sinkhole of indeterminate depth, the perimeter of which has been sculpted to resemble a bearded, open-mouthed face. There's a protocol to contain 5992, and there's a ritual. I'm scrolling through the ye old pit here, Fractured Whisper. I just want to know what the big nope is. It's a pretty long article, so the, well, I don't like the picture. That's for sure. I don't like that. That does not appeal to me. I do not like it. Well, they're certainly getting sucked into something. Not suffering ecstasy. That's a stinger. I do want to read this because I always like a good J. Dune article. It's just a little long for me to summarize quickly here. But it seems like you go in the pit and you get sucked into something, kind of like When Day Breaks, but in a pile in a pit. Cafe Kid, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Big Nope, SCP-72. 9. That's J. Agreed. Fuck that thing. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Yeah, the contracting team for the site is very good, but where would I get a new key card? I'll just get a new one anyways. I mean, do you need a new key card? I thought you said your original one just had your face on it. You don't need a photograph of your whole body for your key card. That would be a little silly. Yeah, well, let's not waste the printing department's resources, huh? Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. What could possibly go wrong, he says. What something will go wrong with the big nopes? Oh no, I'm a victim of SCP WCPGW, aren't I? Oh no. I invoked SCP WCPGW-J. Oh, this is not going to go well for me. Intern Cat. Siren Head is not an SCP. It is a Trevor Henderson creation. Why are you gay? Well, if you consider asexuality to be on the LGBTQIA, etc. spectrum, then yes, I guess that would, in a simpler sense, qualify me as gay. But that's not usually the straightforward way of saying it. It's a bit weird of you to ask it that way. I read your SCPs. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Lils. I hope you enjoyed them. Prize People is definitely a nope. Alki, I agree. SCP Prize People. That is a crazy nope article for a lot of people. Prize People, number SCP-8329. Literally human beings being filmed on TikTok, being ripped apart like Christmas crackers, blood and guts strewn everywhere, but there is a prize. And along with, oh look, J. Dune again. That's our second J. Dune big nope of the day. And I say that knowing that thanks to having talked about J. Dune twice, and specifically Prize People, I'm also going to tell you guys about the Drain Snake, SCP-5798. In case you're unfamiliar, the Drain Snake is a talking snake flesh monster that lives in the shower drain at a YMCA located in redacted, Florida. So be careful of YMCAs in Florida. But if you go into this YMCA and you talk to the shower drain snake, it just seems like a pretty nice guy. It'll talk you up. It'll say, hey, man, I'm just trying to do my life here. And also, you know, I got a pretty good deal down here in this shower drain. I got a comfortable place. I got good Wi-Fi. It's a pretty good situation. So I'm not going to go anywhere. And then if you decide you want to, you know, maybe the drain snake's lifestyle sounds pretty good, and maybe I, a human being, want to join the drain snake. Maybe that sounds like a better life than what I got going on right now. Then you get this. Get ready for some body horror video. SCP-5798 emerges from the grate, extending upwards and tracing its appendages on its surroundings. The entity lunges forward, wraps its appendages around Haddo's right ankle, and pulls him toward the drain. It used another appendage to bring Haddo's left ankle closer to the grate, and pulls with enough force to begin pushing the bottoms of Haddo's feet through the holes of the drain. Haddo screams, and the sound of skin ripping is audible throughout the locker room. By anomalous means, the entity manages to pull both of Haddo's feet through the grate. Blood and excess tissue fills the shower floor. SCP-5798 pulls Haddo's ankles, contorting the bone to slip through the holes. Audible grinding of the cartilage is heard, and cracking sounds are intermediated with Haddo's increasingly distressed vocalizations. Haddo passes out and regurgitates a mixture of blood and stomach contents. A loud crunching noise is heard as 5798 snaps the tibia and fibula of researcher Haddo's lower legs. Several more appendages emerge from the grate to retrieve excess skin. Haddo seizes and continues to vomit. In his thrashing, he has broken several teeth, and his nose appears to be displaced. Haddo appears to regain consciousness and vocalizes unintelligibly. As the entity attempts to squeeze Haddo's crotch through the grate, another snapping sound, assumed to be Haddo's pelvic bone, is heard. Haddo goes limp as 5798 squeezes his torso and stomach through the grate. A slurry of entrails and viscera is expelled from Haddo's mouth, which increases in concentration as more of his body is forced through the drain. Haddo's ribcage snaps, and his upper torso sinks into the floor. The last of Haddo's body, the head, is pulled through the drain. Excess brain matter, hair, ocular muscles, and teeth surround the immediate area of the grate. The slurry of bodily fluids and entrails stains the shower. At which point, we end the log, and the only thing left in the article is, upon further interaction with SCP-5798, the entity used researcher Haddo's voice to communicate. No relevant or new information has been gained from this research, and the entity claims to have no recollection of researcher Haddo. Once again, J. Dune. J. Dune of the Dionices Pit, J. Dune of the Drain Snake, J. Dune of the Prize People. Woo! That is a rather large note. A rather large nope, I mean. Dr. Sherman, what happened to your finger? I just injured it. Just a little cut, and then a little cut here. And then I got some injuries here, too, this morning. Huh. I now am building up quite the collection of Band-Aids. Maybe I should see medical about this later. Back to the chat so I can see the chat. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. All right, then, steps outside my containment cell. No one is here, walking around, passing a corner. Literally, no one can help you. Send someone to my cell. I'm concerned about this. No one is here. Are you dimension hopping again? We have no sector of the facility security videos that have no staff. Are you perhaps astral projecting? Epic Fire Dragon, Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Have my shoulders and wings in it too, which change. And an X nope for me was any spider entity. Oh, I also agree with spider entities, and fine, if it's that big a deal, we'll get you a new ID card. Jeez. Also, how is this for a big nope? SCP-3023, codename. And then it decided to be an angry spider. SCP-3023 is a phenomenon that is localized to the areas surrounding Kassel, Hanover, and Leipzig, Germany. Basically, it's the area in between those three cities. If you are within those areas at random, with no idea when it's going to happen, some random object will become an angry spider. Now, here are some items that have become angry spiders. A baseball ripped apart to produce 8 pointed legs surrounding a central mass. It animated mid-pitch. Upon contact with the catcher's mitt, it attacked the catcher lethally, then remained on the field for the following 84 minutes before civilians could destroy it. A metal folding chair, where the legs and tube elements turned into spider legs, with the seat and back operating as the central mass. This animated in an abandoned office building in the presence of several urban explorers. 2 explorers were killed. A telephone turned into an angry spider. No living witness could provide a description of the item. We did manage to blow it the hell up, thankfully. A gelatin capsule of ibuprofen turned into an angry spider. And very specifically, it turned into an angry spider halfway down someone's throat and exited into their spinal cord. Nope. Big nope. A Mercedes-Benz GLS 550 SUV turned into an angry spider while hurtling down the hallway. The people inside obviously died. And yeah, we had to bring in, I believe, air support to take that thing down. 41 casualties were reported on the highway that day. And yes, we destroyed it via airstrike because one of our mobile task forces couldn't take it down. And then finally, a human corpse turned into an angry spider. Specifically, the skeletal system turned into a bone spider. I hate that. I hate that. I hate this whole SCP. I think it's a terrible anomaly that shouldn't happen in anywhere. I don't like it. Big nope. It's a big nope. Diago and Green Guy, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Coming back to the chat. Who can use SCP-067? I'd like to have my life story down even if I'm young. Do I simply make a request? Yes, you can submit a request to use SCP-067. That's pretty straightforward. I'm seeing a lot of new people in the stream asking what we're about here. So just a quick refresher. I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. This is our daily stream where for about 30 to 60 to 90 minutes, depending on the day, up to 3 hours if I'm feeling saucy, I leave my office door open so you guys can come in and ask some questions about the SCP Foundation, whether it be our anomalies, the staff, the groups of interest, or hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that are outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. I'm here to educate, illuminate, and elucidate you to the inner workings of your workplace, the Foundation. Now, in the same token, yes, Junior Researcher HLG. Yes, I do make sure to make them funky. Senior Researcher America, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to get yourself a cold one on your way past the commissary. Dropped off an infinite bottle of Dr. Pepper for you. I wonder if they'll let me keep that or if I have to put that under a special designation. Well, I'm the site director. I can probably at least turf it for a little while. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I'm scared. By the way, if you don't remember where my cell is, it's not that far from 343 cell. Send help, please. I don't know what to do, please. We've got security staff with Scranton Reality ballasts on their way to see if they can renegotiate you into consensus reality. Please just stay where you are. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Help, what the hell did I just find? SCP-1046. Well, I'm not familiar with SCP-1046, so what do you got for me? Codename, Black Me Out. Description, 1046 is a collection of 781 separate human body parts, formerly a man named Rodrigo Molina. 781 body parts? That is such a cut-up. These portions of 1046's body are all alive and fully functional despite not receiving any sustenance, not containing any blood, and in some cases not being connected to muscles. 1046 is located within Molina's apartment. Portions of 1046 are located throughout it, with some body parts replacing functional elements of the apartment. Others inhibiting the usability of other existing objects, such as portions of the skin replacing curtains and a lampshade, and some inhibiting functions of objects within the home, such as a sink being clogged by an artery, segments of the fingers being stuck to the coffee press, and a large portion of the face being permanently affixed to the living room television. The object is capable of communicating verbally, as its vocal cords are lodged within the living room television, and enjoys casual conversation. Ugh. Don't like it. Don't like it. And also, it was the landlord's fault. I mean, who's surprised by that? The guy didn't want to move out, but the landlord raised their rent super bad and then ended up turning into the apartment. Ugh. Oh, look at the addendum. Following this event, containment of 1046 was established. As per the integration program's mandate, 1046 was offered a job as a barista at the newly established auxiliary site 1046. Agent Shuffle visits the subject object weekly when she is not on deployment. Salted caramel lattes remain the most popular drink ordered by personnel stationed at auxiliary site 1046. Later examinations of 1046 revealed that Molina's tear ducts were located in the sinks, leading to the water being produced by them possessing a higher than usual sodium content. Ugh. Weird. Weird. Big Head Red. Do you think the SCP community is dying? I don't know. We just hit 1 million YouTube subscribers this year, and it only took us 2 years really to get there. I think the SCP community is doing just fine. I mean, we have so many SCPs being written every day. We're actually getting more and more stories every day. Its membership is climbing. We used to do the 1,000 entry contests every couple of years, and maybe like 5 years in between. Now we're doing them like once a year because there's another 1,000 SCPs. So no, the SCP community is not in any danger of dying. My friend is making fun of me for still liking SCPs and talking about them. Rat, your friend is lame. Don't yuck people's yum, man. People enjoy things. The SCP community is a booming creative writing community. It is also the world's largest collaborative art project. Excuse me? The world's largest collaborative art project. It's silly to enjoy that? No. Just like anyone else can like Marvel movies, everyone can be DC fans or watch trashy reality TV. Wherever you get your fun times, no shame, no shade. Time check. We are currently about 40 minutes into stream, and we have about 45 minutes to an hour left. Nope. Scarlett, thank you for donating again. How do I get back? Send help, please. I told you they're on their way with the mobile reality ballasts. They'll get you. They'll get you. Herman Fuller, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. You clown. Make sure to grab yourself a coconut cream pie on your way past the commissary. The delivery of the scarlet milk will be soon alongside the documentation of effects. I highly doubt it. I don't believe you, you con man loser. Best of luck on your fibbing. Are you a series of well-known pattern numbers that is seen in nature? Because it looks like you're the Fibonacci sequence. Herman Fuller. Yes, that was entirely a devastating insult. You're devastated right now. Well, Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Nope, not looking that up. Nope. Seems we've done our job today, but we'll keep doing our job. Scarlett, thank you for donating again. Also, it's not my fault I automatically switch dimensions. I don't know how I do this. I could be researched. Would that be helpful, right, Dr. Sherman? Yes, I do want to study this. It might even help us localize and stabilize SCP-507, the reluctant dimension hopper. So it could be very useful, actually. Dr. Sherman, how do I join the Site42 Discord? Well, first of all, remember, it is only for people ages 18 and up. Same rules as the SCP Wiki proper. So if you're under 18, then do not attempt to join. It's against the rules. Furthermore, you have to find the link. There's a couple places the link exists, but it's a bit of an Easter egg hunt. You gotta go hunting. You'll find it if you look at certain places where I have certain links and listen to hints very closely during the stream, because I will again explain, and you will be shocked at how easy it is to find. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself an empanada on your way past the commissary. 2910, found by random. I'm not familiar with 2910. Wait, I am. I've just heard of this, right? Is this? No, it's not. Oh, it's not. Okay, no, I'm not familiar with this one. Phenomenon that sporadically randomly affects at least 2 people giving birth via vaginal delivery at the same time. The affected persons will not deliver infants, but rather instances of 2910-A, a disorganized collection of organs and body parts, lungs, brain, mouth, ears, eyes, etc., that belong to a newborn infant held together by congealed blood. 2910-A is animate and emulates behavior of newborn infants, such as crying. Sound is emitted from the mouth through unknown means, and a rooting. As 2910-A ages, it mimics behavior of infants at the equivalent age. However, it does not grow and cannot consume any foodstuff except milk, and only while breastfeeding. After 12 months, it becomes inanimate and begins to decompose normally. Okay. And it shares DNA with the birth mother, and the other half is from the other birth mother who gave birth to a 2910-A at the same time. I do not enjoy these, blood babies. Not a fan. I'm going to give that, at the very least, a medium nope. Dr. Knight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a taquito on your way past the commissary. Personal nope of the precognitive anomalies division. Fortune cookies, but the fortune comes true. Can't order Chinese anymore. Yeah, you got to be really careful with those randomized anomalies. That's dangerous. Cosmic Flash, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Michelada on your way past the commissary. SCP-4666, Dr. Sherman. Yes, many people tend to find the Ule Man to be a big nope. The Ule Man, if you're unfamiliar, is currently believed to be a single, exceptionally long-lived humanoid entity of unknown origin. Survivors of Weissnacht events typically describe 466 as a very tall, between 2 and 2.3 meters, elderly male of European descent with an extremely emaciated appearance. The entity always appears completely naked, even when observed outdoors in freezing weather. The entity can teleport, and it likes to teleport above 40 degrees north latitude during the winter. And if it appears at your house, it will stalk, serial murder your household, steal one of the children, and put them to work into the Christmas mines. It's not a good time. Oh, and it makes toys out of the ones that are too sick to work. So child labor, child toys, no bueno. Definite nope. Especially because depending on where you live, it could be coming for you. JK's Lull, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a peppermint on your way past the commissary. Would you classify legendary Pokemon as SCPs? Well, the problem is in the Pokemon universe, Pokemon are quite normal. Therefore, they're not anomalous. Therefore, they're not SCP quality. But if a single legendary Pokemon ended up in our world, then that would be anomalous. Therefore, it would be a SCP. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Have fun with the nopes. I got to go. It's been fun. Sherm, catch you next stream. Well, see you next time, Silent Follower. Thanks for tuning in for a little bit. Senior Researcher Frogman, you are correct. The likes have crested the viewer count. That means that with more likes than viewers, the YouTube algorithm has no choice but to send more people to our stream. And with that, We will bring more people into the SCP fandom, whether they like it or not. They will become SCP fans, and they will help us to support the wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, anybody who's making SCP stuff. We want more of it. We want it better. If Amazon and Netflix will make an SCP movie, we'll have to do it ourselves. And that means we need to get SCP up to the Markiplier unfathomable money budgets so we can just make them ourselves. So, Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters, I salute your good work in getting that likes up. How much longer will they be? Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I think something is wrong with this reality. All the cells are open. I'm currently hiding in my cell because a bunch of Keter SCPs are staring at me and I'm scared. Yeah, don't move. And security's on its way. Doesn't sound like a good situation if I'm being honest. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some puddin' on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite real-time strategy video game? My favorite RTS is Age of Empires 3 and Victoria 2. My favorite alcoholic drink is rum. So, for RTSs, I don't play a lot of RTSs. I don't think I've played an RTS since StarCraft 2, back when it came out. So, it's not really my genre. Meanwhile, rum is good. I do hail from Florida, where piracy is Tampa, Florida, the pirate capital of Florida. We have a pirate Mardi Gras parade every year down there. It's a good time. It's called Gasparilla. And so, yes, I do enjoy the rum. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Yeah, I'm going to be staying in my dorm unless we do the cicada test on a 4521 today. I've got a lot of errands today, so we had to push the cicada test back, unfortunately. That's why we're streaming so early today. Derek, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of flapjacks on your way past the commissary. My big nope is SCP-5000, because why? Why would Site-42 release all the SCPs and show pics of SCP-096 to everyone? Why? Why? Well, to be fair, they had a really good reason in that universe. The entire human psychosphere had been infected by a greater entity, and that needed to be severed. So, yeah, I don't blame them. Sometimes we gotta do the things. Cosmic Flash, thank you for donating again. SCP-582 seems likely a big nope. 582, isn't that Bundle? Yeah, Bundle, a bundle of stories. It's the SCP Foundation's off-brand Slender Man. And so it is an adaptive, self-propagating meme in the form of an entity, most often referred to as Redacted. 582's primary ability is passive reality modification. Any fictional account written about 582 will become a factual record of a manifestation of the entity, in which 582 will carry out all actions attributed it into the narrative. So the answer is, do not write about 582, because the thing you write about it will actually happen. Don't do it. It's like a prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy, except anyone can write it. It's a problem. Rachel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bagel on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, 2852 is my nope. Speaking of them, can I feed them to 682? He's remember, 682 is an anomaly, which means it is an object, not a person. It's not a he, it's not a she, it's an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. It's let me nap in its cell before it should work, still in training, last hope. I doubt we're going to let you feed any anomalies to 682 because we can't study them if they are gone. But you said 2852, I'll at least look at you to humor that. Codename, Cousin Johnny. Cousin Johnny, you cicada wedding crashing bastard. Yep, you don't want to go to a Cousin Johnny party because a Cousin Johnny party is gross. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. They're trying to break the door, but I used my other abilities on it so they can't open it. Oh, hell no, one of them just punched a hole through the door. I'm wondering if security is going to get there in time. It's seeming pretty dire. Montaz Z, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman, Zed here. I hope you're okay and still not under amnestics. I thought it would have been a funny joke to put them in your drink. Sorry. Well, it was probably a bad idea while I was also under amnestics from medical. Mixing amnestics is never a good idea. It only makes things worse. And don't miss nestics with amnestics. It gets even worse than that. Apologies for the pronoun mistake on 682. Did not notice the typo. We'll do better next time. Thank you, Intern Lowry. I appreciate your paying attention to this matter. Got a tasty one for you, Dr. Sherman. 1104. Well, okay, Cosmic Flash. Thank you for donating with another suggestion. Let's see what 1104 has for us in the cards. Nose crab. Nose crab. It's a crab that comes out your nose. It's a nose crab. I've got a big nose of crabs here. I've got crabs coming out my nose, oh yes. I'm going to hang out at the facility on a parting day. Everyone will look at me and say he's got a nose full of crabs. And by the way, Volgin, fellow SCP YouTuber and image generator, made this horrible thing. I hate that. Nope, no, no, no. Volgin, why? Why would you do this? Volgin. Volgin! Back to the chat. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. I love the historic fiction of it, but 3288. 3288, you say? I'm not familiar with that by digits alone. Okay. Oh, the aristocrats. Oh, the aristocrats. Adult content splash page. This article contains adult content that may not be suitable for all readers. Features non-consensual sexual acts. Graphic depiction of blood, gore, or mutilation of body parts. Description of torture. You know, I think that's as clear as a nope as we can get, and I don't even have to pass the front page. Ay, ay, ay. SCP authors need help. Oh no, the page is gone. Come back. Not that I really want it to come back, mind you. Yeah, it's a predatory species or subspecies of human, abnormal characteristics. They're like vampires. They have all sorts of stuff like that going on. And they do all sorts of crazy, gross fucking. Vampires doing crazy, gross, rich people fucking. And I'm just going to leave it at that. 3288, the aristocrats. is high on the nope meter. I am familiar, just by reputation, that the nopes are alive and well in 3288. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Yeah, I definitely want to go to the next site barbecue. When is that again? Next site barbecue, it looks like it's gonna be Saturday, but I can't go. I have testing that day. I hate missing the barbecue. Derek, thank you for donating again. If all the mobile task forces had to fight, who would win? The two possible winners out of all those mobile task forces, it would have to be either Mobile Task Force Tau 5, codename Samsara. I mean, we nicknamed them Power Rangers for a reason. They're literally clonable cyborgs. You kill them, they'll be cloned, and they can do it again. So, basically unstoppable. And they have all sorts of anomalous and robotic tech. Or the underdogs, the Street Samurai. The Street Samurai get to use anomalous weapons. They're using Hephaestus's manual for making anomalous tech. So their weapons are through the roof. Therefore, it's going to be one of those two for sure. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. I have two choices for lunch tomorrow. Potato salad with either Danish flatted pork or fish meatballs. Dr. Sherman, would you choose for me? Well, I'm not a fan of fish meatballs, so I'm going to go with Danish flatted pork. You're doing potato salad either way, so that works. Selma, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a fajita on your way past the commissary. Here I go, having to reset the day since last incident counter for that person. Damn it, that was our biggest streak without a work incident again. Our biggest streak without a breach? Have we made it 10 days? I don't remember a day of us having double digits on that sign. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I threw a chair at it, but I forgot that it also broke the door completely. I've teleported past them and now I'm just running. Tell them to hurry up. Well, run towards security. That would be helpful. Meet up in the middle. Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Danish on your way past the commissary. Hope things are well. I'd love to stay, but the shop may or may not be on fire. As it turns out, the dog that breathes methane got into the shop. Well, that is not helpful. Clean up the mess so we can get back to business. Exer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Snickers bar on your way past the commissary. SCP-294 became affected by SCP-me and now can only dispense toasted bread. We do not how. Testing permissions requested. Listen, just take me away from SCP-294 and put me back in my containment cell, and my effects should no longer affect 294. It's not that difficult. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. One of the SCPs grabbed you. Get the hell off me. Teleports away. Hurry up, please. Run toward security. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. 3288 is because the Habsburgs kept going. Yikes. And going, and going, and going. Ugh. Cosmic Flash, thank you for donating again. Here's a relatively new addition, SCP-8011. Cosmic Flash, you're saying 8011 is a nope? Let's find out. 8011. Code name. Doesn't have a code name due to formatting. I hate when they do that. Back to where I was. 8011. Code name. In Flesh. Tasted. Well, don't think I'm gonna like this. Describes a worldwide phenomenon where individuals who died on or after November 23, 2019 are resurrected. All instances of 8011 resurrection events have been shown to transpire exactly 368 days after death. Individuals resurrected in such events are designated 8011-A instances. Upon resurrection, they will Decay, typical of expected of a corpse. Continued decay is delayed but still exists. Vocalizations include low growling, pain, moaning, or screaming. Hyper-aggressive behavior towards one specific targeted person at a time. Tendency to consume only one part of their victim's body, like the face or hands. Animalistic intelligence facilitating tool use and hunting strategies, so they're smarter zombies, damn it. Imperviousness to physical damage, such as firearms, bladed weapons, and blunt weapons, so they're invincible smart zombies. Great! A tendency to lower the hume count of any particular area by a negligible amount once in a lucid state, following successful consumption. So when they eat someone, they gain some sentience, maybe? It's quite the long article, but I do not like the idea of invincible fucking smart zombies. That's probably the worst thing I could think of. Content warning. Contains heavy subject matter such as murder with mutilation, cannibalism, decaying corpses, the harm and death of a child, and decapitation. Reader discretion is advised. So yeah, 8011 does seem pretty dark. I agree. That's some nope. Okay, back to chat. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. 3288, the Habsburgs, thinking 082 could be related. Ah, yes, I'm sure that 3288 and 082 are quite familiar with each other if I looked into the cross references. Cameron, thank you for donating again. New Nope, Prophecy Vending Machine, neutralized. Well, if it's neutralized, we don't got to worry about it. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, security isn't this dimension. We've been over this. Get me out of this dimension. Yes, well, you've got to be in the same location so that they can open a door between them. You need to be in the same physical location, even if you are dimensionally shifted. It's all part of the whole multiverse shenanigans you seem to be taking part in. Selma, thank you for donating again. We are never getting that pizza party for work safety. Well, I ain't doing the paperwork this time. I'm scheduling another vacation at this rate. Hey, do not waste your vacation days. They don't roll over. And anyway, we need the mental health time around these parts. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Well, I'm going to go back into hibernation till my next test. Night, Doc. Well, have a good sleep. Axer, thank you for donating again. Just read the title. Definitely a new nope here. SCP PL-180. It makes me really sad. Also, don't worry. It has a translation for your branch. Hey, thank you for confirming that. Let me hop over to SCP PL-180. Well, I don't like the look of this. Because what I opened to, first, I see, oh, a picture of an adorable golden retriever puppy labeled SCP-PL-180. And I think, okay, well, that's very nice. What's wrong with this nice, adorable puppy? And then I look to my left. Object class, Keter. Correction, neutralized. So, something's going to do something to this dog in this article. They tell you right out the gate. SCP-PL-180 followed a strict schedule. Breaking the schedule by more than 398.4 seconds will result in teleportation of the anomaly to a location in which the entity would be located according to the schedule. The object had no development or aging process. It estimated the anomaly was 39 years old at time of neutralization. It followed a very strict schedule. Part of its schedule was riding a bus, and the bus got in a crash with a heavy truck. So I'd take off my hat if I were wearing one. Scarlett, thank you for donating twice again. Tell them to go to the break room in your dimension. I'll head to the break room in mine. I hope this works because death hurts. Even though I'm partially immortal, I don't want to deal with this. They also need to figure out what dimension I'm in. Well, they could open multiple doors, so that could narrow it down. But yes, break room. They're going to go to the break room. Dog Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself grab yourself some ice cream at the commissary because a man runs screaming and on fire out of a portal. Try and use the ice cream to cool them down, I guess. Icarus Rising, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service in the battle against the White Names. Axer, thank you for donating again. So we agree it is a nope. I still feel sad. So here's what I'm going to say about it as a nope. It's not a nope for me personally because, yes, I am sad that the dog perishes, but I'm not the kind of person where that's like a hard no in a story. I know some people who even just that reference would make them like nope out completely. So in that case, it's a little less of a universal nope. Whereas some of the things we've gone over are super nope, like hard no for a lot of people. So I would say that's a narrow nope. I'm going to say it's a small to medium nope. That's what I'm going to call it. Because it's not even that graphic or like tough. It just happens by accident at some point. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. I think I need a vacation. I just looked up the wine one, 2485, I think. The wine one, 2845. And while that's loading, Icarus Rising, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. chat. If you got that membership from Icarus Rising, make sure to thank them for their generosity. SCP-2845, the deer? Cullivan. Oh, 2485. I hate it when I transpose a digit. Drunkard's Dream. Is a wine bottle made of dark green glass with a resealable cork. Bottom is marked with a small logo accompanying the True Bacchanal Finer Winery. Uh-oh. Drink up, you deserve the revel in gold lettering. Despite having an estimated volume of 375 milliliters, 2485 is able to hold extremely large quantities of liquid. Once liquid poured into 2485 reaches the top of the bottleneck, no overflow occurs even as pouring is continued. The weight change of 2485, as this fills theorized to be related to the amount of liquid contained within it. Blah, blah, blah. When a human attempts to manually empty 2485, 2485 will induce a compulsive effect that renders the subject unwilling to release the bottle until it has been completely emptied. At the activation of this effect, the rate which the liquid pours out of 2485 is comparable to that of non-anomalous bottles. If the subject drinks from 2485, they will do so continuously for approximately 45 seconds or until the bottle is emptied. The subject, however, perceives this drink as a couple of sips and will usually request to drink more. So I feel like we're going to have some exploding stomachs. Interesting. Yeah, not a good time. A little more sad again. Sad than a big nope. But, you know, tragedy is its own nope, I guess. Cullivan, thank you for donating again to correct me getting the number wrong. My bad. Scarlett, thank you for donating again. At the break room in my dimension, I'm locked in. The doors are I'm currently safe. Tell them to hurry up. The doors are breaking. They're in the break room. They're opening doors. They just got to find your universe at this point. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. I am its biggest fan, but 3305, The Ritual. Really? The Ritual for Bread Jesus is a nope? Really? 3305. Well, that didn't work. I said 3305. Protocol Judas. Mobile Task Force Gamma 84 will bring a D-class person with an ailment, from now on referred to as the patient, to a building near 3305-1. All smoke detectors inside the building will be disabled, and the patient must be kept in a room which is not visible to outside. Airplanes equipped with suitable amounts of gaseous Class B amnestics shall be positioned near the civilian population. Phase 2. Gamma 84 will request the assistance of 3305-1 in healing the patient. It is imperative that no civilian personnel be allowed inside the building with 3305-1. Given the nature of -1, if the request is made in earnest, it will comply. Phase 3. Once the patient has been cured by 3305-1 and cleared the premises, Mobile Task Force Gamma 84 shall incinerate 3305-1. The airplane shall dispense the Class B amnestics over the civilian population. Gamma 84 is to perform a survey of the civilian population to identify individuals who retain memories of 3305-1 and administer Class B amnestics as needed. So, yeah. Let's, Bread Jesus has got to get got. We can't have a bunch of Bread Jesus running around. Otherwise, people will know about the anomalies and also that several of the religions are in fact real, and we can't have that. Oh, you meant the ritual to summon the guy. Yeah, I think it's funny to burn a Bread Jesus. So, materials needed to summon Bread Jesus. 50 loaves of white bread, 3.79 liters of wine, a virgin, 18.14 kilograms of homemade dough, 14.4 cubic centimeters of flour, 3.79 liters of gasoline, matches, and a Bible. Lay the loaves between the stapled pieces of bread to form a pentagram. This will require all 50 loaves, assuming each loaf is approximately 30.48 centimeters long. Pour wine all over the loaves of bread. Move the virgin into the center of the pentagram. Cover the virgin with the dough so none of the virgin's skins can be seen. Sprinkle the flour over the virgin and all loaves of bread. Douse the virgin in 3.03 liters of gasoline and each piece of bread in 0.19 liters. Ignite all 5 pieces of bread. Ignite the virgin. From the Bible, read aloud verse Mark 14:22-24. As the dough rises, it takes the form of 3305-1. It is unknown what happens to the virgin. All testing indicates 3305-1 is made entirely of bread and wine. So many of these religions require virgin sacrifice. It's just something you get used to around these parts, unfortunately. Takes down the nope factor a little. Silver Moon Roses. Are you unfamiliar with Bread Jesus? Oh my. No, we have a funny inside joke every time some rando comes into chat saying, oh, praise Jesus. Oh, like bullying people into religion for some reason. And just out of context religion posting. And we're like, okay, but which Jesus? Because there are 4 Jesus in SCP Foundation containment. SCP-3305, as we just described, is Bread Jesus. SCP-5991 is Vor Jesus. The Jesus that if you eat a whole Christian Bible with no condiments, it will come, swallow you whole, and transport you to the Jesus-themed theme park inside its stomach. So, that's weird. Uber Driver Jesus, SCP-029-J, is just Jesus with an angel sweet ride. And then SCP-6542 is Milk Jesus, otherwise known as Jesus. And if humanity doesn't eat enough cheese and milk, then it will flood the world in a Noah's Ark scenario of milk. So we have to keep people eating dairy. Yeah, those are our 4 Jesus. The Thomas, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. Have you ever worked with a cunt counter? Can't figure out how this thing works. I think I threw out the manual when I got it. Read the manuals! Yes, I've worked with a cunt counter, but I can't tell you how to use it right now because I'm a little busy. Find your nearest Hume specialist to help you out. Jazz Funk, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. Make sure to grab yourself a burrito on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, be advised, basement sublevel mine-side personnel have acquired recovered coruscistic tech and are beginning investigation. On-site mine-side personnel Moth log requisition request for copper tubing and coruscist termination tool. No other further developments. All right, well, keep an eye on it. That's a lot to deal with. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Jesus, Yeastus, Beepus, and Eatus, the boys. The Jesus boys. Ah, yes. Meanwhile, Tyrone's Creations, thank you for donating again. Hello, sorry I'm late. Last time was Oh, Dr. Amos, that's your first donation of today's stream. Sorry, I got that wrong. I think I pre-read it earlier. Either way, thank you for your first donation as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Klondike bar on your way past the commissary. And yeah, don't worry about being late. Although, as a time check, we are 15 minutes from the end of stream. 15 minutes to closing. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, how is 049 doing today? Well, last I heard, 049 was locked outside the facility, not able to leave. The gates are still closed, but has been trying to get back in. I guess the Mobile Task Force are pranking it, which, sure, why not? Scarlet, thank you for donating again. There really needs to be something that prevents dimension swapping in my room. Also, the doors to the break room are almost broken. Oh, hell no, something just jumped at me. Connection breaks out. Well, we have Scranton Reality Anchors. We just have to install them. But that is if you make it back. Good luck. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. 6096, more like creepy than gross. 6096, let me see what you got. 6096. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest. At first glance, I can't say I'm exactly terrified, but all right, Sheet Ghost. Let's see what Sheet Ghost has going on. Is an entity presumably humanoid in shape, the body of which is perpetually concealed under a large cotton sheet. Due to the presence of the sheet, full physical description of 1696 is not possible. Superficial analysis of the entity indicates that 1696 is 1.5 meters tall and weighs approximately 48 kilograms. The sheet covering 1696 is larger than the actual body and typically trails at least a meter behind it when it is mobile. Personnel have been unable to remove the sheet in order to obtain a more accurate description. No living being can consciously take an action which would result in harm coming to 1696. An action which would result in harm coming to 1696 is a broad category and has been observed to consist of the following: attempting to attack 1696, ordering others to attack 1696, trick others into unknowingly attacking 1696, lay a trap for 1696, order others to lay a trap for 1696, trick others into unknowingly laying a trap for 1696, create a device which would independently and automatically cause harm to 1696, leave 1696's presence when doing so would expose the entity to harm, attempting to self-terminate if said self-termination would result in negative repercussions for 1696, and attempting to remove 1696's sheet. It is usually docile, allowing itself to be led into containment so long as said relocation would not result in harm coming to it. At periodic intervals, however, 1696 will become active and independently mobile, persistently moving at a walking speed towards a target. In all observed cases, the target has been a human being selected at random from the population of the planet Earth. Any individuals who observe 1696 during an active period will get an instant awareness of the identity of the current target along with their location. Additionally, they will find themselves compelled to aid 1696 in reaching and securing its target. Evidence suggests that 1696's target alone is exempt from the main anomalous property. They are able to take actions which would cause harm to 1696. To date, however, none have been successful in doing so, usually due to the unwilling efforts of the entourage 1696 inevitably accumulates during its journey to the target. When 1696 physically reaches the target, it will subsume them underneath the cotton sheet. In cases where the victim is conscious, they can be seen heard struggling against 1696 underneath the sheet for a period ranging from 20 to 40 minutes, after which they will disappear entirely. The cries of distress emitted by these victims suggest this process is extremely painful. Following acquisition of its victim, 1696 will return to a docile state. Thanks. I hate it. That sucks. I do not like this spooky ghost. I do not like its spooky host. Of course it's Tanhoney. Of course it's frickin' Tanhoney. The bastard. The monster. Tanhoney, author of SCP-5000, as well as multiple other epic level SCPs. Tanhoney is a bastard. We love him. Scott Beast, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some eggnog on your way past the commissary. SCP-4666, the Ule Man, personally my biggest nope. Agreed, we talked about that one earlier, and it is quite nope-worthy. Skiz Jr., thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Doritos on your way past the commissary. Is SCP-420-J a real -J SCP? Yes, SCP-420-J is a -J on the wiki. It's on the database. You can look it up right now. Yeah, that's on the list. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. A door opens and I'm put back in our dimension. My unconscious body falls from the door. Blood pools from my head. I'm alive, just needs to heal. Well, I'm glad they got you before worse things happened. Hopefully now you'll get medical attention and we'll get that reality anchor set up and running. 6618 is quite the disturbing read if I'm being honest, but it might be a bit longish. Person of interest end. I can still take a quick look at it. 6618. I think that's one off from one that I think is horrifying. Content warning for this article includes heavy subject matter, including psychological torture, grievous injury, and serial killers. Ah, yes. Papa's ways on how to raise and discipline your child. Essentially, someone gets kidnapped and gets put through some very bad things in this video. That is a bad one. Yes, I agree. I agree, that is messed up. Meanwhile, in another case of one of the 6-6s being terrible, where is SCP-6670, codename Mama. SCP-670, if I may take a little artistic license, is the story of a single mother struggling to stay and work and raise a child. Meanwhile, the child crawls into a crawl space in the wall and gets stuck, and then proceeds to grow into that crawl space and limbs throughout the walls of the house. Literally, I'm living in your wall's content. Until finally, the little girl, the used-to-be little girl, gets so large that she eventually collapses the roof on her mother, killing them both. That one is a huge nope. Huge nope. 6670. Read it if you want your heart to break. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, my worst nightmare is animals that become zombies that eat humans. And I had another nightmare about Giant Man eating spiders. Well, I don't like animal zombies, that's true, and I definitely don't like man-eating spiders. I also don't like giant men that eat spiders. Anything with spiders I'm not into. All right, double checking my notifications here and here. For me personally, SCP-203 is the biggest nope. Just hate its ability to make your ears bleed and stuff. And those artworks of it are super creepy. SCP-203, you say? Tortured Iron Soul. Appears to have at one time been a Caucasian human male of indeterminate age. Subject is 2.5 meters tall, though theorized that the skeletal framework augments subject's original height, as indicated by irregular musculature, and weighs approximately 200 kilograms. The subject's entire skeletal structure has been removed and replaced with a mechanical framework made of cast iron that seems to move on its own volition. This framework appears to be the sole cause of 203's ambulation, independent of its musculature. Well, I would not like being stripped of my bones and replaced with metal that makes me move when I don't want to. I don't like that one. Meanwhile, you said there were artworks, probably horrifying, if I'm going to guess. Images. That's the one I'm going to go with, because that's the one that gives me the most creeps. Yeah. Atramorph, good work, that's horrifying. All right. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. It's giant spiders that eats humans. Oh, I know, but both giant spiders that eat humans and giant men that eat spiders, I hate them both equally. We don't need either of those involved. Have you ever tried using the SCP-420-J? It's so good. Oh, Intern Dio, come along now. We have our fun around the Foundation, trust me. You got to take some of the perks that are available. My biggest nope is either SCP-3000. Well, the forgetting who you are is always a terrifying situation to be in. Hate that. And then 1128. Why do I remember that one? Ah, the massive aquatic predator that can get you from anywhere, if you know what it looks like. So, yep, don't like that one either. To be fair, we're not going to describe what it looks like, to be safe. All right, and Site-42 staff, I hate to break it to you, but we are at the end of today's stream. And so, as always, at the end of today's stream, it's a tradition around these parts, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating. Instead, though, if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site-42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see all the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice work or sound effects to. They're right there for you. And if you want to link, the standard Site-42 support link I've pinned in the chat can take you to my author page as well as our other social medias. Make sure you're following us wherever so you catch everything we put out. Meanwhile, if you're on my author page and you go one tab over from that author page's SCPs, you'll see some links, some other links, some links people are very often very interested in looking for, but they just don't look hard enough. You got to be determined. Stay determined. So, while you're there, you can also become a patron on Patreon or a YouTube channel member if you want to support us monthly. You can donate through our Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chat if you want to donate one at a time, ask some questions. And of course, while we thank you for your direct donations, as it helps us keep the lights on the most direct way, we also can't forget our broke gang, because trust me, we're an arts community. Starving artist is a stereotype for a reason, and we appreciate our broke gang because as long as you're here, liking, sharing, subscribing, chatting, commenting, all that good YouTube business, you are a valuable and honored member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. And when we're in chat and you get those likes above the viewer count, YouTube pulls people into our channel and forces them to be SCP fans at gunpoint. This is a real thing that happens. I will not take any questions. Furthermore, Psi-42, Signal Boosters, when I tell you guys there's a cool SCP animated show or game or something, it's your duty to go over and give them hype. Like, share, subscribe, maybe buy something if you can afford to and it looks like a fun little comic book or something. Because when we support SCP projects, they come back to SCP. Amazon and Netflix won't do it because they're afraid of the Creative Commons. But if we can rally as a community, we can make these things ourselves. We're going to make these things ourselves. And that is because of you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed Signal Boosters. So thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning about that last one, it's a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one. So, Site-42 staff, I hope you've had fun. I hope you learned something. This has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site-42, signing off from another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. The credit song is Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. See you next time, Site-42 staff.